I'm Lucy, or at least, that's the name colonialists wrote down. What little the world knows of me is scattered. A few lines in South African archives, a whisper in court records, a question that never found an answer. But I will try to gather the fragments for you. Walk with me. Listen closely. My story doesn't unfold in a neat line. It is broken, like so many lives were, by ships, by papers, by the stroke of a pen. I was brought to the Cape Colony around 1790. Not as a slave, not at first. I came from Madras. Madras is the former name of Chennai, which is the capital city of Tamil Nadu, India. I was a servant to an Englishman named Mr. Johnson, one of many who passed through the colony's harbours without leaving behind much more than a shadow. When Mr. Johnson left the Cape, he didn't take me with him. He left me and handed me over to a widow, a certain lady by the name of Mrs. Smith. I don't remember what she looked like anymore, only that I stayed. When she married a man named Claes Petters, I stayed still, and when she died, I was sold. Me, a woman, a daughter, a sister, sold at a public auction, like a chair or a broom along with some of my children. I was sold to a man named P.M. Brink in 1823. That's the year South African colonial law wrote me down as property. But you must understand, I wasn't naturally born in slavery. Back in Madras, in 1790, slavery had already been abolished. I had been a servant but not a slave. There is a difference. But that difference stole my life. My sister, Prempy, was on that same ship from Madras. She stayed with Mr. Johnson and journeyed on to England. Whilst she remained a servant, I stayed behind in the Cape and became enslaved. Years later, like a thread suddenly tugged after years of silence, our lives touched again. Prempy had travelled to Bombay, and from there arrived at the Cape as a servant to an English lady staying with a Mrs. Delil. When my sister saw me, she recognized me. Her eyes said it before her voice could. She told the Delils, "That's my sister, Lucy. She came here from Madras. She's not a slave." My sister tried to help me. She asked that witnesses be called, women like Mrs. Mathieson and Mrs. Marsdorp, who might have remembered how I came into this place, who might recall that I had not been born into bondage, nor brought here as property. But memories fade fast when the truth is inconvenient. They checked the inventories, the records left behind when Mrs. Petters, formerly Mrs. Smith, died. My name wasn't there. I didn't exist on paper. The Guardian asked, why wasn't Lucy listed among the slaves? Mr. Marsdorp, who had been a young man at the time, shrugged off the question. He claimed he didn't know how his sister, the widow, came to possess me. He said perhaps I had once spoken to him about my freedom, but nothing more. And Mr. Claes Petters, the man who married the widow, said I had been given to her by some nameless lady who once stayed at the house. That's all. That was enough to close the case. I vanished again, into silence, into the ledger of someone else's household. But I want you to remember, I had a sister. I had a name before this one. I was born free. And though the records only whisper my existence, I am still here, not as property, but as proof. Proof that colonial empires may forget us, but we must never forget ourselves. Aluta continua to the sons and daughters of democratic South Africa.